The claim specialist. The fourth problem was the missing bag. Marcus had been gone for 3 days when Sarah arrived at the airport. She didn't care about the weather delays or the crowded terminals. She just wanted to find her husband. The airline was useless, but a claims specialist in a windowless office near Terminal 3 had told her to come by. "I found his suitcase," the specialist said. He was a small man with skin the color of old parchment. He placed Marcus's black hard-shell spinner on the desk. Sarah gasped, reaching for the handle. "Where was it? Where is Marcus?" "The bag arrived on time," the specialist said, his voice flat. "But the contents have shifted." Sarah unzipped the bag. It wasn't filled with Marcus's suits or his laptop. Inside, the suitcase was lined with soft, pulsing red velvet. Tucked neatly into the center was a single heavy iron key with the number 999 stamped on it. Beside the key sat a small leather-bound notebook. Sarah opened it. The first page was in Marcus's handwriting, but the letters were jagged, as if written while falling. Page 1. The elevator doesn't go up. Page 5. My skin is starting to smell like expensive luggage. Page 12. Tell Sarah not to check the lost and found. They don't give things back, they only trade. The specialist leaned forward, his eyes reflecting the harsh fluorescent lights. "You see, Sarah, the airline has a basic problem. They have too many bags and not enough people to carry them. We're always looking for new infrastructure." Sarah looked down at her own hands. Her fingernails were turning into silver rivets. The zipper on her jacket was beginning to fuse with her skin. "Wait," she whispered, her voice sounding like a sliding latch. "I just wanted to find him." "And you have," the specialist smiled, reaching for a roll of duct tape. "You're a matching set now."
Marcus was a man of checklists. He survived on executive-tier loyalty points, noise-canceling headphones, and a strict adherence to his itinerary. He had a 10 p.m. connection in Chicago, a 6 a.m. meeting in London, and exactly 0 patience for basic problems. The first problem was the delayed flight. "Weather in the Midwest," the gate agent said, her voice sounding like it was underwater. "Everyone is grounded. Try the kiosk for a hotel voucher." Marcus sighed, his jaw tight. "Fine, a hotel. Simple enough." The second problem was the vanishing shuttle. He stood at the designated curb for 40 minutes. The wind was unnaturally cold, smelling of ozone and wet pennies. Finally, a white van with no markings pulled up. The driver didn't look at him, just popped the trunk. Marcus climbed in, too tired to check the logo. The third problem was the check-in. The hotel was a massive, windowless concrete block called the Transit. The lobby was empty, save for a single clerk behind a glass partition. "Reservation for Marcus Thorne?" he said, slapping his ID on the counter. The clerk didn't check a computer. He just handed Marcus a heavy iron key with the number 999 stamped on it. "Elevator is at the end of the hall. Don't stop at the 4th floor. The carpet is being replaced." "Basic maintenance, whatever," Marcus muttered, grabbing his suitcase. He stepped into the elevator. It was lined with old, stained velvet. He pressed 9. The elevator groaned, moving with a sickening, swaying motion. It didn't go up. It went sideways. The doors opened. The hallway was miles long. It didn't look like a hotel. It looked like an airport terminal that had been stretched by a nightmare. The exit signs were written in a language that looked like mathematical equations. "Room 999, Marcus said, his voice trembling. He walked and walked. He passed a door labeled Room 102, then Room 5, then Room 11,000. The numbering made no sense. The fourth problem was the dead phone. He reached into his pocket to call the airline, but his phone was gone. In its place was a small, smooth stone. He checked his watch. The hands weren't moving, but the digital display was counting down from 10 p.m., 9:59, 8:58. "I just need a room!" screamed Marcus at the empty hallway. "I just need to sleep!" Suddenly, a door opened. A maid pushed a brass cart toward him. She was wearing a uniform from the 1950s, but where her face should have been, there was only a shimmering, static-filled screen. "Towels, sir?" the static hissed. "Where is the exit?" begged Marcus. "There is no exit for those who are in transit. You missed your connection, Marcus. When you miss the connection in the world above, you fall through the cracks into the world below. You are a basic problem now, a lost piece of luggage." Marcus turned to run, but the hallway behind him had vanished. There was only a vast, dark abyss where the elevator had been. The countdown on his watch hit 0000. The lights flickered out. Marcus felt a cold, plastic tag being looped around his wrist. It was a luggage tag. Destination? Unknown. Weight? 180 pounds. Status? Unclaimed. He looked down at his hands. They were turning into hard black leather. His ribs were stitching together into a zipper. He tried to scream, but the only sound that came out was the muffled thud of a suitcase being tossed onto a conveyor belt. Somewhere in a bright, clean airport in Chicago, a gate agent looked at a screen. "Marcus Thorne?" she asked the empty waiting area. "Final call for Mr. Thorne." "No? Okay, remove him from the manifest. He's just a no